Welcome everyone to Make Your Customers Love You. Be human, it pays off. Today, we're going to explore what customers are looking for in 2023. We'll be keeping this overview very high level because customer wants and needs are subjective to the individual, but that is why understanding trends is so important. Customer behavior trends can serve as a compass for brands, and it's important to understand consumer trends because today's evolving competitive landscape means that alternatives are easier to find than ever before. And I want to thank you all again for joining me today. Welcome to 2023. And today we're going to learn how you can set yourself up for success in this brand new year. Chuck already did a phenomenal job introducing me, and I just wanted to give a little background information on Ruby and why we wanted to present on this particular topic. So Ruby started as a small business just over 19 years ago, based out of Portland, Oregon. And over these past 2 years alone, we've answered over 15 million calls for small businesses across North America as the live virtual receptionist for those businesses. In order to be the best representative we possibly can be for small businesses, we also have to stay on top of key customer behavior trends. A huge part of what we do is learn to anticipate the needs of callers. And what we'll cover today will be a summation of that knowledge. So a bit of basic information, again, the logistical information. If you've got any questions, be sure to put them into that Q&A. We'll be answering as many as possible at the very end of this presentation. And if we don't get to your question, definitely jump over to the Ruby community and post it there. We'll be more than happy to answer it. Without further ado, let's get this ball rolling. Now, if you're like most entrepreneurs, you probably have a wish list that is a mile long, especially at the start of a brand new year, of ways in which you'd like to invest in your business continued growth. But there's really never enough capital to do it all. So how do you, as a small business owner, find ways to invest in your business with limited time and resources? The areas for opportunity are seemingly endless. You've got marketing efforts, new product features, changes to your customer service. What should your business be prioritizing to stand apart from the competition to get that worthwhile return on investment? The answer might be more straightforward than you think. The most efficient and perhaps the most essential avenue you have to grow organically is simply to build meaningful connections with your existing customers and prospects. So the numbers on the screen say a lot. 47% of Americans say they lack meaningful daily face-to-face social interactions. I was just complaining to Chuck about this before we started this presentation. Working from home in particular, I crave those face-to-face interactions. 75% of organizations believe they are customer-centric. But meanwhile, 30% of consumers only 30% of consumers agree. And 71% of American consumers say the messages they receive from businesses never, rarely, or only sometimes feel personal. So what can you do about it? Today, we're going to explore the disconnect between customer expectations and the ability of business owners to deliver on those expectations, as well as all of their business goals. Today, we're going to learn the value of personal connections with customers and prospects, the impact of every individual interaction can have on your bottom line, how to deliver on customer expectations, and most importantly, we'll be demonstrating the return on investment of one-on-one conversations and how cultivating an engaged customer base can boost profitability that will help catapult your business forward. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Now, as a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. Your tasks might look like manage your employees, deliver services, sell products, balance your books, comply with legal requirements, pay your taxes, stock supplies, check and send emails, respond to service inquiries, update the website, answer calls, and respond to voicemails. That daily task list just seems to constantly grow. So how do you find time to give everything the attention it needs, especially your customers? While service delivery or product sales may be the core of your business, it's easy for customer communications to get shortlisted. In the course of your business day, are you as responsive as you should be to customer phone calls or sales inquiries? When you communicate with customers, are those touch points personalized or are they done at scale? And it can be easy to rely on voicemail as a method of separating important calls from clutter, or to rely entirely on set it and forget it tools to do the work of marketing and customer outreach. But in the name of convenience, you run the risk of alienating the very people you're trying to reach. Companies that exclusively use automated platforms to communicate with customers may be contributing to a modern epidemic of disconnection. And if you aren't answering the phone or following up on website chats or social media messages, how much business might you lose? 75% of customers expect help within 5 minutes, and that's regardless of when they reach out. That is across industries. Consumers report feeling unheard and undervalued. The good news is that the convenience of technology can be leveraged effectively in today's business world without compromising a customer's ability to connect with your company. The key is using these tools to empower the human element rather than completely replace it. Now, customers are more invested than ever in a company's ethics and ability to interact with those values transparently and authentically. Though many of these changes may be overwhelming to consumers and to companies used to more traditional methods of commerce, the good news is that there's also a lucrative opportunity to be found here. These shifts in consumer trends allow brands to be more effective than ever before in your advertising, sales, and communications. It's no longer enough for companies to just provide a quality product or service. According to Salesforce's State of the Connected Customer Report, an overwhelming 86% of consumer survey respondents said that a seamless, enjoyable customer experience is equally as important to a product or service's quality when they're choosing a brand to buy from. Now, this report showed that shopping is now a digital-first experience for many, rather than a brick and mortar experience. And that features such as shopping online, contactless payments, and reaching customers through social media, including influencers, are now standard pillars of building customer experiences. Anyone who has played phone tag with a business, leaving voicemails and waiting days to connect with someone real, knows there's a gap between customer service expectations and outcomes. Ditto for anyone who has waited on hold, pressed 0 multiple times to speak with an agent, or experienced more than one rerouting in a single call. Within this gap lies an opportunity for your business to stand out. Now, with this, it is vital for a customer to feel like the brand they're shopping with offers personalized content that matches their interests, their needs, and their personality. Shoppers now can control when, how, and where they engage with brands thanks to smart devices. When they're looking for a product or service, chances are they will find dozens of businesses selling what they are looking for. And that is where the customer experience becomes a key differentiator. Companies can accomplish this through what's called hyper-personalization. This is using data and analytics to customize the products, deals, and communication channels through which they engage with customers to optimize each customer's experience. So let's take Cadbury, for example. We just had Christmas. We're all familiar with Cadbury. Let's be serious, but they are known for their dairy milk chocolate. They used customer insights to create personalized video ads posted to consumers' social media channels, and they achieved a 65% click-through rate. That is astonishing. Using hyper-personalization methods can increase consumer loyalty to a brand and how much a consumer is willing to spend on a purchase. brands must take ownership of the customer experience and create digital experiences that consumers expect, like customer-centric ads, the opportunity to buy directly off of your website, or click to call and reach a live rep in order to capitalize on these consumer trends. Now, ultimately, customers desire meaningful connections, which is the heart of great customer service. And excellent customer service is the primary determinator for customer retention. And I know, again, Chuck pointed out that's one of the main pain points we've been hearing from you all on Alignable. It has been proven that increasing customer retention rates by as little as 5% has the potential to boost profits between 25 to 95%. So let's dig deeper into this. When you connect effectively, you build trust with prospects and customers, which can lead to some remarkable returns. Building trust is a continuous process. And if you can learn to anticipate customer needs and provide solutions before they are asked, you create a positive experience for that customer. And in doing something as simple as picking up the phone or connecting with a customer via live chat through your website or on a social media channel, you won't miss a business opportunity. Another thing that I've heard frequently recently that is that most business owners, they don't want to answer their phone unless they know it's a revenue opportunity. But aside from robocalls and solicitor inquiries, the fact is most calls, in fact, 92% of calls, according to our Ruby source data, represents opportunities. It represents opportunities to win new business, but also retain business, potentially lose business, improve perceptions of your brand, strengthen connections with customers, and so much more. If you need help answering calls or your chats or social media messages, that's a task that can also be easily outsourced. By becoming accessible to your customer base, you're going to increase customer satisfaction, which will manifest into lasting relationships. And did you know acquiring a new customer costs 5 times as much as it does to retain customers you currently have? Happy customers refer more happy customers, underscoring that every connection lends itself as an opportunity to grow your business. Right now, consumers are willing to spend 17% more to do business with companies that deliver excellent service. That's up from 14% just a couple of years ago. Now, customers are also seeking a unified, or what's known as an omni-channel experience. But what does an omni-channel experience mean? Omnichannel refers to user experiences that connect to customers' touch points, including brick and mortar, social media, websites, phone apps. For example, the Bank of America allows customers to make and settle payments using any combination of channels that works best for them. And when you look at consumer trends, expectations for businesses are changing in part due to the customer experience leaders like Amazon. According to PwC, 41% of purchased products were done through smartphones at least once per week in 2021. That's up from 24% in 2019. Now, if you'd like to provide omnichannel options, but you don't know where to start, consider thorough consumer research based on your market and analytics to gauge which payment and engagement platforms best serve your consumer needs. Now, there are phenomenal guides on performing your own market research, which can save you time and money, and they're available through resources like SurveyMonkey and HubSpot for anyone interested. I was very easily able to find those resources online. Now, most small businesses are prepared with a multi-channel experience, a typical website, a blog, a Facebook page, and other social media accounts. You use these spaces to engage with your customers, but is your messaging consistent across these channels? Creating an omni-channel experience will take time, especially if you're working with limited resources, but you can start small and grow. even if it's as simple as providing customers with multiple ways of receiving customer support, or ensuring that all of your messages from customers are centralized into a singular inbox to make your life easier. And it also helps you to provide consistent messaging across all channels. And when changes like reducing the number of calls that go to your voicemail, ensuring that chats and social media messages are answered by a live person who can answer basic FAQs and improve the personalization of your email communications, you can see a massive difference in how customers perceive and respond to your company. And we're speaking from experience. Our customers report an increase in productivity, better profit margins, and higher customer retention rates when they are able to provide those direct connections. And more consumers are looking beyond the quality and price of products offered to also consider their personal compatibility with the brand, especially when it comes to matching environmental values. Now, sourcing back to Salesforce's State of the Connected Customer report, 68% of respondents want to make sure their money is going to a company that works to solve societal issues. And 78% of purchasing decisions are influenced specifically by a company's environmental ethics. The top reported consumer environmental concerns are how a company handles recycling, single-use plastics, and carbon emissions. Now, if you don't have the means to make environmental changes happen right now, what's most important is transparency with your customers. Even small steps towards sustainability, like offering digital receipts and documentation, can significantly impact your brand's image and consumer purchasing decisions. And buyers want to feel that there's a human they can reach out to with questions. Today, consumers are calling businesses more than ever. We're talking about more than 170 billion calls from mobile click-to-call alone, according to IBID. And when customers encounter hiccups while engaging with a brand, it's crucial that they have an easily accessible outlet for questions, preferably one that offers human interaction. These can include live chat functions, customer service phone lines, and of course, email. Chatting with representatives via conversational commerce channels allow for natural, authentic dialogue that builds consumer trust in your brand. Additionally, it's beneficial to a company to interact with customers while resolving negative experience and highlighting wins and developments. So let's consider how much potential revenue could be lost if a call goes to voicemail. How many relationships end at an impersonal phone tree or improperly handled calls? And that's just calls. And what about your website? How many potential customers visit it and bounce right off when they don't find the right answers they need right away? Yesterday, I was researching a business that I wanted to do business with, and I went to their reviews. Every single negative review was how they could not get on the phone with a real person and how frustrating that experience was. So it's clear phone calls remain a critical tool for healthy small businesses. While other channels like social media and display advertising also play a very important role, the fact is that a business line, that's an owned channel, and it puts your organization in greater control of the customer journey. So what happens when a customer can't access your business the way they want to? What happens to you as a business owner? You waste marketing dollars. Your customer acquisition cost, or your CAC, will increase. You lose revenue from missed opportunity to speak with a customer, as well as potential future referral business from that contact. You're deprived of revenue that's associated with the lifetime value, or the LTV, of that client. Your competitor wins easy business, damaging your position in the market one customer at a time. Now, please do not abandon your technology or omnichannel customer experience strategy. We've covered why omnichannel is so important, but make sure it's founded in the basics of customer service that's friendly, responsive, and above all, human. Without the right processes and expertise in place, converting leads over the phone is just not a guarantee. Optimizing call experiences and ensuring that a service team is prepared to handle these types of interactions is essential to capturing each opportunity. Now, to better illustrate this, I actually pulled from an experience from one of our own customers. Now, this particular customer, she is an audiologist. She noticed that a potential new customer, I'll abbreviate this to PNC, called, and it was flagged in her Ruby app. So she woke up, she saw PNC called at 5:25 a.m. That's pretty early. So she felt it was likely an urgent need. Turns out the PNC had spoken with our live receptionist, and the message in the app noted that the PNC had clogged ear canals, had experienced a very painful visit to urgent care the night before, and was truly scared for her health and hoped to be seen as quickly as possible. Now, the customer was able to see the PNC same day, and they had a very successful treatment with their team. Thanks to that experience, the patient set up ongoing appointments every 6 months following for ear canal cleaning. Now, this call could have gone to voicemail. The patient could have had the opportunity to reach out to competitors, but the patient had an extremely positive experience that started with their call being answered by the second ring. Now, is this common? How frequently does this happen? Do potential new customers consistently call at 5:25 in the morning? When do you expect typical calls to come through? Well, we have answers. According to data collected from millions of calls we've handled from our own customers, businesses receive fewer calls outside of working hours. Outside of working hours meaning 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. Pacific time. But these calls are increasing in frequency year over year, up to 3.2% in 2020 and up to 3.8% in 2021. Now, the traditional work week is here to stay, for now at least. Even as customers' schedules become more flexible, most still prefer to contact businesses during your peak hours when they're the most confident that they will be able to reach a real person. And what does that mean for you as a business owner? That means more calls throughout your working hours that can interrupt your time with no guarantee of boosting revenue. And through Alignable, I've connected with several business owners who tell me that answering their phone is their least favorite task. And they love what they do, but being on for every call when you have tasks and deadlines at the forefront of your mind, it's difficult. And some of you just hate speaking with customers, and you don't have to feel guilty about admitting that. It is important to be able to identify things in your day that you don't enjoy, that you could have managed by other people or efficiently outsourced. There's also a growing number of calls coming in before and after hours. We call these the shoulder hours, and on weekends that represent untapped opportunities for businesses, especially those who serve high-value customers. Depending on the situation, an investment in support beyond typical working days and hours could yield significant returns for some business owners. And if you're curious about this, track your missed calls as best as you can. You can evaluate your Google My Business call history. You can ask your web development professional about your DIDs. Your DIDs are specific phone lines that you might have for paid ads, for example, or even log when your callers are leaving voicemails. And let's say you're missing an average of 2 new customer calls every weekend. Try multiplying that by the value of a new revenue opportunity to give you an idea of what your lost revenue could really look like. So what are your current needs? Do you want a better reputation, more word of mouth referrals, positive reviews? Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of contributing factors to these needs, but they all involve human connections. So let's say you want a better brand reputation. The key to customer satisfaction is human connection. More than 67% of customers will hang up when they can't reach a live person. Many of those callers will then immediately write off your company and dial a competitor. And this includes new and existing customers. Everyone calling your business deserves and wants fast, responsive, personalized human service. Now, how about elevating your customer service reputation? Live call answering drives not only customer service, but word of mouth marketing as well. Approximately 72% of customers will share their positive customer service experiences with others. For every caller who reaches a friendly, capable business representative, the number of new prospects contacting your company increases. Now, how confident are you in the customer service currently provided over the phone? Are you able to be there at all hours? There's no fuel for customer loyalty and business growth as powerful as answering that call live. Roughly 4 out of 5, that's 80% of customers, will become repeat buyers based on positive phone experiences. And wouldn't it be great if you knew everything about everyone calling your business, their name, their contact information, why they're getting in touch with you? If you're utilizing IVR or relying on voicemail, or you have another automated system, there's no guarantee to capture this information from the majority of your callers. And 85% of people whose calls aren't answered live, they won't call back. And by contrast, a human agent can collect all relevant information about a caller, as well as solve basic customer service issues and even harness sales opportunities in the moment. And you don't have to be everything everywhere all at once. You can make the smart move to delegate tasks like answering calls or answering social media messages or answering live chat to virtual professionals at a fraction of the cost of hiring in-house to save you precious time away from your phone and away from that keyboard. Now, for an overall recap, the C word, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed our shopping habits, shifting the ways consumers interact with and engage with brands. Existing trends have accelerated and new customer preferences have arisen. As the pandemic recedes, many of these trends are still hanging around. And if you pay attention to these trends and bravely adjust your strategies, you'll be able to elevate your customer experience. Customers want to know that your values align with theirs and that you have a story that matters to them, that you have made it as easy as possible for them to interact with your business, and that someone is always there for them. Companies that focus on relationships and accessibility not only retain more customers, but they build stronger reputations than their competitors, and also generate more frequent referrals and recommendations. Connections is at the core of good customer service. It's the secret ingredient among brands that establish passionate followings and robust books of business without ever spending $1 on advertising. Now, the average small business deal size is around $1,000. And let's just see how answering a few more calls or messages a day can impact your bottom line. And the numbers on this slide, do not get me wrong, they are compelling. They are also subjective, but sales isn't the only reason to make yourself more accessible to customers. The trust and rapport that you build over a lifetime of connections with customers can have a long-term effect on satisfaction rates, your brand's perception, and so much more. Picking up when customers quite literally come to call can not only impact the number of sales leads you capture, but also color the perception of your customer service. Accessibility can also lead to referrals, which is especially critical for long-term success because word of mouth remains the primary factor between 20% to 50% of all purchasing decisions. In fact, even in our digital age, word of mouth is still more effective than any other marketing strategy. According to Nielsen, one of the world's leading data collection and analytic firms, 92% of consumers trust recommendations from people they know over any other form of advertising. And that's pretty powerful. Now, if you feel you need help ensuring your calls are answered, but you don't have the overhead to hire in-house, outsourcing is a great place to start. I have a few things I wanted to provide you with, things to keep top of mind as you look at your options. Consider things like, will 100% of your calls be answered by a live service provider, and how quickly? Where are those receptionists based? How extensive is their training? Can they transfer calls? Can they answer your company's FAQs? Can they qualify quality leads? Can you use the service when and how you need it? The right virtual receptionist solution will generate more actionable leads, increase your customer loyalty, and give you time back in your day. And if you need more assistance with this topic, this is where our Ruby community page can provide you with some additional guidance, and we would absolutely love to have you join.